In the last Pixelated Therapy video, we discussed the power of music and how our brains are involved in the process. Just for a brief repetition, we want to go over that again. The left side of our brain processes the analytical side of things. That would include the meter, tempo, rhythm, decodes the lyrics in a manner that helps us to decode the song's meaning as we hear it. The right side of the brain helps us process the emotions of a song, the timbre, or color of the music, and the melody and harmony, and it also helps us recognize and hit the right pitch when needed. The autonomic nervous system can hype us up or calm us down depending on the type of music that's playing. And the limbic system of our brains, the hypothalamus and the amygdala, may remind us of memories of all kinds, whether happy, sad, or otherwise, and help set the emotional tone of what we are hearing. And as stated in the previous video, the entirety of the brain is involved in the act of listening to music. That's what makes it such a powerful force. Now, this is a gaming channel, and I would be remiss if we didn't make an application to the music we find in video games in relation to the previous video. Here's how we're going to do it. I have chosen a few examples from games, and I have talked to a few friends of mine to get their thoughts on certain game music. These examples, we're first going to discuss a little bit about what the game is about. That best helps us understand the context leading up to the chosen example. Then we will describe in detail what occurs, the type of music that's playing, and how that is effective in making memorable scenes in video games. And although I will be playing the songs in the background, I will also include a link to every song mentioned in the comment box below. Also a spoiler warning, although some of the games we're going to discuss are fairly old in nature, we may be spoiling things, and so if you've never played them before, you may find out details you may not have wanted to. So we're going to be discussing Shadow of the Colossus. We're going to be discussing a little bit about the very first Dark Souls game, and we're also going to point out some from Lies of P. So the first example is Shadow of the Colossus, and there are a few songs I want to make mention here. Originally released in October 2005 for the PlayStation, and remastered in February 2018, this game was not everybody's cup of tea. While looking up some information about the game, I read a Reddit post where someone complained that it was an open-world game with nothing to do, and I was reminded that media literacy is lost on some individuals, and many would rather you hold their hand with the story and things of that nature. Getting past that, Shadow of the Colossus is legitimately one of my top 10 favorite games. You play as Wander, a young man who has come to a forbidden wasteland, and with him are two more characters, Agro, his trusty steed, and Mono, a young woman with a severe case of being dead. Wander has heard tales of a land where this god resides, and this god is willing to grant anything to one who is able to reach it, including resurrecting the dead. But Wander finds out that in order to do this, he must fail 16 colossi. He may do this on foot, or at times with Agro's help. Well, how do you find the colossi? Wander's sword can reflect light from the sun to help point him in the right direction. And this is, again, one of my favorite games. I believe the world being a wasteland fits in with the story. You play as an individual who has, pun not intended, wandered into a forbidden area There's some vegetation. There's very little animal life save for birds, lizards, and maybe some other small creatures. You're not going to find any humanity here or any other enemies. It is just you and 16 colossi. And this is where the music comes into play. And it really helps set the tone. As you're wandering around, there's very calm music playing in the background. But when you meet your first Colossus, a track called The Open Way starts to play. And this is an orchestral piece that evokes a sense of danger as you see this hulking creature standing before you. And yes, it is not going to be the biggest threat that you will face in this game, but Wander and you, the player, do not know that. And seeing this creature is intimidating in and out of itself. That's a huge issue. It really sets the stage for the fact that you're going to see multiple creatures much larger than you, much stronger than you. And it really sets the tone for the fights that are upcoming. And every song in this game does evoke some sort of emotion. Cosmoronic, a friend of mine, reminded me of the song Revived Power, which plays during 3 different battles. The 2nd, the 6th, and the 9th. And it's the 9th one we want to focus on for a moment. Because you face what is, in my opinion, one of the worst colossi in this game. You are in a very dark area. The sky is covered and too dark for Wander's sword to work. And the Colossus, a towering quadruped creature, shoots 5 extremely fast electrical balls in your general direction. And as this battle occurs, a violent encounter begins to play. As such, aggro is a must in this fight. And through the, we'll say, boss arena, there are several geysers, which will shoot a spray of water upwards every so often. You have to guide the boss to one of these, keep him there long enough, and hope the geyser erupts. 2 legs of his will be shot in the air, and 2 will remain firmly planted on the ground. You have to shoot the bottoms of his feet to get him knocked over. And when you do this, the music changes from a violent encounter to revived power. The violent encounter, the way that it plays, and as you hear it again, it's very ominous. It almost feels as if you are facing something hopeless. But this change of song marks a change in how you would view this boss. You're no longer staring down this towering, unstoppable beast. As the music changes to that of optimism, you are capable of taking this creature down. And if it can be taken down, it can be beaten. Knowing this fills you with determination. And you're able to win that fight. Each battle itself feels like a puzzle, as Wander must somehow climb the Colossus, find weak spots, and strike at it until the creature dies. When it finally does, the music shifts to a piece called The End of Battle. And there's something to this song that has always stuck in my mind as we move from the excitement and fervor of battle to a moment of calm. But there's more to it than just that. There's a violin sound and a choir that kind of plays along with it, and as you listen to them, there's a sound of sorrow to its melody. Because the creature is dying or dead, and as the light disappears from its eyes, this Colossus begins to crumble to the ground, and the stringed instruments take the lead. And the sadness that they play is unmistakable. You have just killed a one-of-a-kind creature. There is none other that will ever take its place. And as such, the world is now bereft because of it. Furthermore, the player is suddenly attacked by dark tendrils from which there is no escape. It doesn't matter how far you run, whether you hop on Aggro's back and continue to go, they will find you and feel the essence of your being. This music would lead the player to ask the question, have I made the right decision? What are the true consequences of my actions? The implications are not known to you as of yet. Yet as you kill one by one by one, the player will truly begin to understand his actions. For now, there's only uncertainty. And so while this song may fill you with a little bit of regret, there is music later on that will lead you to face much regret. And yes, I'm about to discuss this part of the game. Wander has defeated 15 Colossi and 1 remains. And while traveling to this final battle, there is this bridge area that Aggro has to jump across. And as she begins traversing, the bridge itself begins to collapse, and so she runs with all of her speed, leaps to the other side, and all is safe, right? No. The ground underneath Aggro begins to collapse. She throws Wander off of her back and falls into the waters below. Wander's cry really helps build this moment as he realizes he is impotent to do anything. Her cries of distress and the soft background vocals have led some players to tears. Wander and the player comes to a realization. Each has been myopic in mission. Kill the Colossus. Kill the Colossus. Kill the Colossus. And you go through each one so that you can raise Mono from the dead. There has never been, up to this point, a thought of collateral damage. Until now. As far as Wander and the player know, Aggro is dead. Has this all been worth the loss of our trusted steed? I never could find the name of the song that plays, nor did I find it in the soundtrack. But I will include a link that will take you to a scene that someone has of this. When you experience it, the emotional weight of this scene really hits you hard. There is a time in the lives of P that I want to discuss, and this was mentioned to me by another friend of mine, Yasmina. She is very much a fan of Souls-like games, and we discuss things of that nature from time to time. And she wanted to point out something from this game that we might not necessarily think about. Because, like in the Soulsborne games, there's a lot of chaos, as in many instances you can be caught up in the battles with the music swelling in the background, wondering whether or not you're going to survive. But the main hub area is Hotel Krat. And there's almost a feeling of solemnity to this place. Unlike the hub world of the Souls games, you don't have this massive heaviness weighing upon your character. You almost feel like you're surrounded by majesty. This is not like the hopelessness that you would find at the Firelink Shrine, at Marjula, or even the Maiden Shrine in Demon Soul. The air here is different, and this air is created, or helps to be created, by a little mechanic that allows you to find various records. and you can play them within the hotel. And so after a hard-fought battle, one can return to this hotel and put on songs like Feel or Quixotic and feel something that you don't really feel even in the Souls games. Reprieve. The player, and by extension P, is allowed a moment to breathe. And this moment of calm is memorable, not because of the story or the epic battle that one endures. It is memorable as the player is offered a chance to relax and to listen to some very lovely music. And these are just a few examples that I thought of. I want to offer you a challenge. In the comment box below, tell me about the songs in video games that you find to be endearing. Even how it really built the story up for you, or even built the world in a video game for you, or even certain memories that are attached to the songs that you find in these games. If you like this video, I'd like to encourage you to maybe like, comment, or subscribe. And as always, let's take care of ourselves and each other. God bless you all, and let's game in good health.